Welcome to another RPM reaction review. My name is Tim, and in the RPM world, you would know me from the band Letter 17. And if you're not from the RPM world, I'm not quite sure why you're here. Going to jump in this week, or this time, sorry, not this week, this time, with the album Fortuna Major by Jarrett Osborn. Let's just jump right in, and I can start talking. Something to know, Jarrett's a friend of mine. And has asked me to be pointed in criticism, so I'm probably going to be a little sharper in places than I would with other reviews, although it's Jarrett, so I'm likely to just love everything. Like these guitars. Great signature Jarrett Osborn loud guitars, and his drumming, as always, is tremendous. And the Jarrett Osborn vocal style that we all love. A bit of distortion, it's kind of a whispered John Mayer thing. A little more forward than some of the stuff I've heard with the vocal in the past. Reading the lyrics, Jarrett's getting political on me here. Love the way those backing vocals come in. Cool keyboard solo. There's just a ton of energy here. Just churning and chugging along. Great opening track. Great drum roll there, buddy. I'm talking to Jarrett. This was a difficult album for him to make. He struggled with some technical issues and just being unhappy with performances. I'm not sure what he's talking about yet, but I kind of feel that way every time I listen to this record. Okay. Track 2, Modern Anxiety, taking a little bit of a turn into a different, alternative pop direction, I would say. Oh, I do like that. Oh, I do like that sound there, sir. All right, Jarrett, you want a criticism? I'll give you a criticism. Your voice is always distorted, and I know that you have ridiculous equipment in terms of microphones and preamps. I'd like to hear maybe a more clear voice once in a while, just for something different. Because your backing vocals aren't distorted. Okay. Your vocals separated a little bit there where I don't think you wanted them to. The back vocal popped forward. I am literally searching for stuff to say because you want me to say stuff. I would not make that observation on anybody else's record. I'm literally going, oh wait, I think I heard something that I can talk about. Because the production's great, the sound is great, love the sound of the guitars. You're a great drummer. So. Yeah, this is one big love fest. Be interested in what you did for the drums there. It sounded like you just dropped back to either only the room, or if you have something like I have with a stairwell mic, and you just crank some compression and distortion on it. That was a really cool dropout. Alright, so we've come back around to the chorus. We're at 3 minutes. This song is 4.5 minutes long. I'm interested in what you're going to do to resolve it and to make me want to stick with you for another minute and a half. You changed. That's what you did. Okay, hand claps. You bought yourself a good 30 to 45 seconds just with hand claps. And the gong. Who played gong? You credited something with gong. Oh, your kid's playing. Oh, your kid's clapping and playing gong. That's great. All right, so you had a minute and a half, and what you did was you gave me another chorus, but you gave me a hand clap and gong breakdown. It's different. It's interesting. There you go. You met the requirement. Nice finish. All right. Track number 3, Monarch, featuring Rob Zeminski, and I believe Rob is a guitar player. Yeah, he's going to play lead guitar on this one. Oh, this is your song about butterflies. You told me you had a song about butterflies. You're a lot heavier this year. Last year you were kind of in an 80s synth space, and you're back to some of the heaviest stuff I've heard you do. We'll see how long or see if it sticks through the whole record, but you're a lot heavier this year. It's interesting to read the words and then to hear the cadence be different than what I'm expecting. I also like the chug you're doing with the guitars because it's an unexpected rhythm. I wonder how many voices you're using when you do this. I'm not sure how often you double your lead. I think it's a lot. And your backing, is it just one to each side, or are you doing a couple to each side? I'd be interested in having a conversation with you about how you spread them and what you do. I do a lot of spreading different backing vocals and doing harmonies, and I'm always intrigued by what others do. The words written down here are not what you're saying at all. Okay. Weird thing I would never expect to say for Jarrett. Those toms were too far forward there. That jumped out a lot more than I expected. That, again, wouldn't make this comment about almost anyone else, but you asked specifically for stuff like that. Very different guitar style than you typically have on your records. This guy's good. And I think this makes this, the only RPM record Anton Samford didn't play on this year. All right, are you going to return and give me another chorus? Because you got a minute 10 to go. All right, song length alert. I'd have ended there. I'd have let the guitar solo bring you to your exclamation point. Yeah, those toms are too loud. All right, track number 4, Phantom Stare. It's like the stairs you walk down, not the glaze, or the gaze. Or the glaze, it could be the glaze. You never know what you're cooking. Oh, look, you're talking about dinner and a movie, see? It could be a phantom stare. Never mind. Your voice is definitely much more immediate and upfront. I'm suspecting that you're using a hardware compressor on your vocals more than you have in the past. I think you've even told me as much. I've been doing that more and more, and I've found that it's made me have to play with reverb more than I did in the past. Well, actually, when I wasn't going into a compressor, I felt like I created an echo chamber, and now I feel like reverb actually provides some space. I'm not sure if you want to think about having a little more space around the voice or not. I'm searching, buddy. I'm like making stuff up. I know you obsess about vocal tuning and things. I'm not really sure why, unless you just completely tuned this stuff to the point that it's not even what you initially sang. Because your voice is great. You do operate within a relatively narrow band. This is something I said last year when I reviewed you too. Trying to determine if that's a guitar or a keyboard. It's guitar. Your wide guitars sound great. Your bass sits really great in the mix. Your kick and snare are spot on. Your cymbals sit the right place. They're not too loud. Your mixes sound commercial ready. They always have, and they still do. And whatever you're doing for your chord forms, you're not doing just regular old, power chords. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Adding in some saxophone. I would have maybe put that in a bigger space and let it echo a little bit more, but that's just me versus you. Great song. Great song. Time for track 5, Tropic of Capricorn. Are we going to slow down? No, we're not going to quiet down. I'm just drawn in. Ooh. I love a surprise chord change. You get a really great, huge guitar sound, especially when you're panning like this. The low end off your guitars is just perfect. And my observation is I don't notice that your bass is there. It's part of the sound, which is really cool. Love that chord change. Alright, so I actually want the drums and the bass more forward on this song, especially when you go into a roll and a speed up section like this. I would have liked that to have been bigger and had a little bit more of an impactful hit. Very cool. Track 6, Mast Year. I feel like we're going to break into lowrider with the congas. Almost like a yacht rock shuffle with this. And you continue it with the voice. Wow. That's something different in a very cool way. This is the first song that I felt like is produced by a drummer. This is great. This is just great. I can really appreciate this, having worked with a drummer who told me this year all he wanted to do was just play his toms on every song. That was cool. Track 7, I believe it is Amicio. I don't know whether you want some of those hand movement sounds in there. If you do, great. If you don't, Isotope RX is your friend right there. Interested to know more about this guitar. Weird chords you're playing there, or there's something weird about the guitar. Take your number for the rapture. I don't think it's intonation, I don't think it's tuning, I think it's just you're playing a weird chord and it throws me. It sounds like it's either a little parlor guitar or resonator or something. It's definitely something different. Mellotron strings? I think it is. So you left that part out of the lyrics. So my earlier comment about a vocal and reverb, you've got it sitting really well here, and it's possible that you had it sitting in the same place in the other song. It's just this one has enough space for it to be more obvious. You were also not distorted on the vocal. Again, I think you told me that you cooked a few on the way in, and it's RPM, so you did what you could do. Speaking as somebody who cooked a few on the way in, I understand. was a cool change of pace. Time to get loud again with Red Rabbit. That chord. Whenever you need to get that sound. That. That's one of your signature sounds. It sounds to me like it might just be a chord where you're letting it might be like an F with the E open, high E open. Great vocal sound, like the guitars. And the bass is a little more prevalent here, where I can actually tell there's a bass as opposed to it being part of the overall bass guitar sound. Drums are sitting perfect. We need to spend some time talking about your snare sound and how you get it. We could all take a lesson or two from you. Some of it's the kit, some of it's the player, and you're a monster on the drums, but we all already knew that. I'm definitely going to want to have a Zoom session with you where we talk about what you do in terms of your preparation, but also in terms of your recording. I know how many late nights you had and how much time you spent doing vocals over and over and over and doing other things over and over. And I'm not sure if it's that or if it's the time you spend mixing that you have some inefficiencies in your process, because you told me how long you take, and it's a really long time to do everything. But I'd be interested in talking through that with you, in that I'm hyper-focused on efficiency, shorter songs too. I love that back and forth thing. That's great. I like the way you pushed the vocal to one side, which left room for that snare to just jump out. And then as it faded, you drop back to your vocal at the center. That's great. That was a fabulous... I talk about getting things out of the way, and a lot of times I'm talking to people about thinking about frequencies and masking, and then also the great power of the mute button so that you can hear the thing that you want to hear. But that was a neat trick of not just creating the oral space, but then also creating the panning space so that the featured item stood there. That was awesome. Big old rolls at the end, too. All right, track 9, Gloria. You know, you're not supposed to do covers. Oh, wait. Gloria. Oh, maybe not. Come on, maybe it's the Strokes we're doing. Turning our clothes into a makeshift sail, except it was kayak. Can't tell what the hell Jarrett's saying without the lyric sheet. I like this guitar line. That one guitar that just barely comes in there a bit. Oh, now we make a turn. Like the backing ooze building this. This is a great build, great energy. Okay, so here, boom! I'd have cut it right there. I'd have cut it hard. I'd have left like the song lurching, people feeling like you knocked them out of their chair. You don't need this chorus again. You've done all you need to do. I take it back. It's worth hanging out for that drum roll. Yeah, I'd have cut that off differently. I'd have ended it differently. We're just into stylistic stuff at this point. Okay, track 10, Rosetta. Apparently you're talking about all the problems I had recording on an M1 Mac this year. Is that what this is about? Oh no, you're embracing your inner John Mayer. I can feel it. Really like the bass and drum balance. That acoustic might be a little forward for my liking. It's crispy. I don't know whether you did that directly with saturation or if it's the type of compressor you're using. But again, I'm searching. I'm picking. You're talking with a DB. Yeah. You soloed that guitar over there. It's louder than the voice. I can't tell if you pulled it back or it's just that the other guitar came in and it's masking part of it. The combination of backing vocals is great. The way it comes together, and it makes your voice, you don't just make it bigger, you don't just double it, you bring in a different tone, whether it's an octave or a harmony. I just realized that the saxophone on the earlier song on Phantom Stare was your son playing, so good on him. I just dream you're going to come and release an album where you sing everything an octave lower, where you're not in a almost falsetto-like range, and nobody's going to know it's you. You could probably release it under a completely different name, and everybody's like, who's this guy? He doesn't sound anything like Christopher Cross or John Mayer. There we go. If we're going to exit, let's keep exiting loud, because why not? The rest of the record's been loud. Such a huge sound. You change words on the mic all the time. I would have liked that guitar forward just a touch more. And it might just be an EQ thing that'll make it pop. Where I'm thinking about is the balance of where your vocal's sitting. And that guitar came in and replaced the vocal, but it came in just a little bit lower. And at that dynamic, I wanted it to be about the same, even if your voice that came back after that was lower because you were resetting to a different dynamic for the verse. So now you just came up. So, just something to think about. Really like the way you did that delay there. Great big growly guitar to finish things out. All right, so Jarrett, I did my best to try and be quote-unquote mean. There's not a lot to be mean about. You've produced another just stellar record that makes the rest of us jealous. You're really, really good at this stuff. I definitely would like to get some time with you where we talk about what you're doing production-wise, both so that I can pick your brain and learn some stuff because you're doing some tricks the rest of us would like to know, but also to see if I can do some things to help you in terms of efficiency, especially around mixing. I know that you just switched to Logic and that it's been a little bit of a learning curve for you, and I'm hoping I can maybe help you out there with a few things. Plus, you always give me some really cool tricks of some things that you do with sound toys to get some really interesting growly bits. So I would love to learn more about that. Anyway, long and short of it is I would highly recommend this record. I would recommend that you all go to Bandcamp, and I'm going to guess it being Jarrett, he has it as free download. He does not have a way for you to buy it. I hate that about him. I want him to at least give us a name your price and offer it for free. But that's just the way he is. His records are always free. I would gladly pay for this record, much like I would gladly pay for almost everything that Jarrett ever does. Another great record. Thank you for producing it. Thank you for giving me a chance to listen to it and ramble on about it for 40 minutes or so. Thanks.